Try and take it easy on me because I lost a dear, dear friend today.
You did. I'm sorry to hear that.
R.I.P. Tony. R.I.P. TB is all.
You guys were close.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it. All right, podcast.
Card list.
Yeah, man. Anyway, we'll remember Tony Bennett. Gilgo Beach serial killer. Lots more going on. We'll have a full update for you. Epstein's pal Leon Black forks over $62 million in a settlement. We've got a new presidential poll, which is not going to be so surprising. Plus, there's a artificial intelligence pact that was just reached by all the major tech companies. Not often those guys get together and agree on something, Frank.
Is it we won't let AI kill everybody?
Basically. Okay, that's the broad strokes. Yep, you nailed it.
I'm all for it.
Lana Del Rey waitresses over at the Waffle House. And of course, we remember the great Tony Bennett. My friends, that's what we like to call a podcast.
So I'm going to give you a quick heads up here. Any minute now, my brother is going to be picking up his dogs. Aaron and I have been watching his two dogs all week, Finn and Ray.
You have 3 dogs in the house right now.
We have 3 dogs. Yep.
It's a 3-dog night.
It's been a 3-dog night.
Yeah, it did there.
Every night this past week.
So, Frankie C was a bullfrog.
I was a bullfrog. So any minute now, I'm going to have to jump away just for a couple minutes to hand the dogs over to my brother.
You'll be missed.
Thank you.
All right, let's start with, you know what? Let's start with stupid Epstein and his dumb friend, Leon Black.
Okie doke.
You remember Leon Black, chunky dude,
No.
hedge fund guy. He visited Epstein's Island like with his own. He brought his own kids to Epstein's Island.
That's not good.
So weird, right? If you don't remember all the details on Leon Black, like I've already forgotten, just Google or search on YouTube Leon Black Anthony on Air podcast. We've done like 20 episodes on him.
They're here. Jump it on.
All right, good. So we've talked about Leon Black ad nauseum and what a piece of shit he was. He went down to Epstein's Island. He brought his kids. I want to say he like visited like after like a major holiday or something like that. Anyway, he like all the rest of the people that are starting to fall to the God bless the U.S. Virgin Islands government who's suing everybody over Epstein. Unbeknownst to us, they went after Leon Black as well. And we just found out today that Leon Black agreed to pay $62.5 million to the U.S. Virgin Islands back in January to be released from any potential claims arising out of his relationship and visiting record with Jeffrey Epstein down in in Epstein's private islands down there. So kind of a big move here. Again, more money being shelled out over just relationships. Kudos to the Virgin Islands. Again, bless them. Because they're the only ones that are like holding the people around Epstein accountable. Leon Black, who's still around, still thriving, 71 years old. He was forced to step down in early 2021 from the Apollo Global Management Group after, basically it came out that they were friends and they were pretty tight. He's been, I don't know what he's doing. I'm assuming he's still making money some way, somehow. But dude's worth a friggin' ton because he just shelled out $62.5 million to get himself away from this. Now, I will say, and I have to do this legally so I don't get sued, part of the agreement in the settlement there was that he admits no liability. He's basically saying it's one of those classic, I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm willing to pay $62.5 million to wash my hands of this. Of course not. Very few people. Now, listen, I know that it can happen that, hey, it's weird. I'm a person of, public awareness, and it's just easier to settle. That shit happens. Innocent people can settle at times. I just don't think it's this particular time. $62.5 million for the love of God. I just think this guy is guilty as fuck. That's my humble opinion. No facts there. Brought his kids, piece of shit, $62.5 million check. Fuck Leon Black. I hope he dies of cancer next year.
Boom. Sum that up for me. I didn't even have to listen to the story. I got that last tidbit, and that pretty much summed it up. Hey, I'm with you.
How was the exchange? Did the dogs go back okay?
They were okay. Now, Ray is they are two Scottish terriers, two little guys, a boy and a girl. Ray, the girl, a little skittish.
These terriers. Why do you always have to make it about race? I don't understand.
You're an ass. There's all different types of terriers.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
All right. So Ray is usually very skittish. A loud noise, you drop something, she flies under a bed. So it took her. I had to pick her up and hand her over. So she's, what's going on? A lot of people in the house.
Oh.
So little exchange, all good.
So she wasn't happy to see them. She didn't run up to see them. It's just the noise just scared her.
Because there was all the commotion in the doorway. It was like 6 people everywhere. It was just a commotion. So she was a little nervous. But
do you think Ray was panicked because she knew how close she was to the Gilgo Beach killer all week?
We tried to shield her from that. We didn't talk about that while she was around. So all good.
He told you to stop letting those dogs watch the news, Frank. You take it easy on them.
When I'm out of the house, what am I supposed to do? I can't watch them 24/7.
It's true. It's a good point. Out of all the stuff we learned about the Gilgo Beach killer this week, one of the weirdest was a lot of Rex Heuermann's coworkers are kind of speaking up, and they say that he had a tendency. I mean, looking back on it now, he had a tendency to hire women to work with him or work for him that all fit like the mold, and as it turns out, all fit the mold of his victims. Ooh. So like young women, tiny, like 4'11". He would hire these people, which it turns out kind of like the same description of all the victims.
That's creepy. To
work for him, and he would like demean them and just he would hire people to like get his coffee. He hired one girl and always made her move his car. One of his former colleagues said this week. How fucking bizarre is that?
Janine didn't work for this guy, right? It sounds like Janine's old boss. Go wash my car. Go do this. Go do that.
We should check on that. Janine did some pretty shitty things in her previous jobs, profession.
Yeah. Thank you, Robin. Robin put Erin's the link to Erin's Oval, the book, in the description.
Speak of the devil, Janine.
I'm sorry, what? Because I heard that. I caught the end of that.
Well, okay, so apparently the Gilgo Beach killer guy hired women and made them do like gopher stuff, like go wash my car, go get me coffee, all that kind of stuff. So I asked, did Janine ever work for this guy? Because it sounds like your previous boss.
Except he hired a bunch of women, and I could handle the job. I mean, I could handle all of that, and I'm just one person. So now I'm comparing myself to these girls. Go ahead.
I don't think he would have killed anybody if Janine worked for him. I think he would have thought twice about it.
Yeah, because he would have been like, "Oh, this one's on to me."
Yeah. What are you all dressed up for, Janina? Is it me, or is your hair all done? What's going on here? What's happening?
It's cold.
You going out on the town here? Look at you,
Pink Barbie girl, Pink Barbie greenhouse.
Are you getting ready for the Barbie premiere? The Barbie movie?
Yeah. Pink nails.
Look at that, the nails.
I got some pink hair in here too. I don't know if you could tell it or not.
Look, you do.
Are you walking the red carpet at the?
I'm having a midlife crisis.
Look at you, Frank. Why don't you try and actually get dressed for the show anymore and get done up?
This isn't dressed.
I
thought I looked okay.
You used to do your hair. Used to put effort in.
Right?
Nobody said anything, so I stopped.
Honeymoon's over.
Maybe if you complimented me once or twice, I would have kept going.
Right.
All right.
Just a piece of meat.
We'll show you some more love in the future.
Thank you.
So he hired these girls, and you're right. I thought you said I did some pretty horrible stuff, meaning I did bad stuff to people.
No, horrible as in
they just did that to me.
Well, but you did steal a lot of salads, so
that's true.
That wasn't my job, though.
It sounded
did like it was your job.
Kind of right.
Yeah. So his former colleague said that he was often very demeaning to women, not very nice. He would give them menial tasks, from getting coffee to moving his car. He also bragged about his guns and once ordered a staffer to research New York City strip clubs for months, although the person didn't know why.
What the hell? What kind of research?
That sounds like something Janine was asked to do by her former boss.
I was gonna say I've been asked to do all the above. So really, is it? Oh my God, I could definitely go on.
What kind of information would you have to get? Would anybody want about a strip club that they would have to do months of research?
Who goes there? What goes on in there?
What does that take?
What do they do in the champagne room?
That takes like no time to figure out.
There's a guy on TikTok. It depends
because there's a lot of strip clubs in the city. So
I guess
there's a guy on TikTok who reviews strip clubs and like fucking orders food and like cocktails
and reviews all the food.
Tells you how good the food is and I'm like, this is fucking disgusting. I'm like, all of it.
Is any of the food good?
No,
no, it's never. Why would it? Imagine you're a chef. No offense to any chefs in strip clubs, but I don't know. Aim higher.
I don't think
Killer
they have
fish.
chefs in
Killer
strip
fish.
Clubs. I think they have cooks in strip clubs.
They have microwave.
Right.
Did you say killer fish?
Killer fish.
This one place, it was like they have $9.99 steak, and I'm like, there's no way that could be appetizing or
that's not real cow.
Yeah, I actually had to put the old I'm not interested in this button on TikTok because I was like, I can't watch this, guys. I can't watch food reviews at a strip club anymore.
Is he like reviewing it at the strip club?
Yeah, which is pretty surprising because
usually you're not allowed to have phones in there.
Yeah, I don't know if he's getting
record. He's got to have some deal with them.
He never or I shouldn't say never. I only watched like 5 videos, and by 5 I mean like 35. Right. He never showed girls. It wasn't like they were actually dancing. He would always it was like the food and the cocktails and just weird stuff like that.
All right.
Yeah. More on the Rex Heuermann thing. I guess I again, people are kind of like all putting this together now, but he was doing this all like blocks away from the Long Island Police Academy. Did you know that?
No,
I did not know that.
Yeah, his home is 2 blocks away from the Long Island Police Academy.
Man.
Yeah,
well, I don't know. It's not like they would. How the hell are they going to see that? If it's in the house, if whatever's going on is in the,
Yeah, but there's one report out there that says it was like exciting for him, the thrill of like getting caught. And that's why, and I mean, he's kind of a smart guy. I mean, obviously there's something wrong with him, but he's an architect. So there's some level of intelligence there. Like you have to know that your Google searches, are tracked.
I know.
Right, no, you got to be kind of not all together there to be like, so maybe he wanted to get caught. Maybe it was one of those things.
Well, I was gonna say, isn't that part of the serial killer DNA? Like they need to get caught, or the risk of getting caught. Like they have to claim responsibility for what they've done at some point. Like Janine knows.
I don't know.
Oh, I know.
I don't know if that's always the MO. Like they want to stop, or I don't know.
You know who wanted to? Who wanted to be found?
Who?
The one who wrote in notes to the newspaper in California. The Night Stalker, was it?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know if he wrote notes, but I know the name.
He wrote notes to newspaper that I don't know if it was the Times there or something. He wanted the Zodiac Killer to, I guess it's the Zodiac Killer and the what I just said, they're the same one?
No. Zodiac. Well, Zodiac, they didn't catch, or wasn't there like a story recently that they think they know who it was, but they didn't catch. If they caught him, it was only recently, and this was like 40 years ago. But the Night Stalker, he's been caught and executed a long time ago. I think like the 80s. He was the 80s.
He was the one. it's almost like they give clues to finding out who they are, because they kind of do want to be caught, because they do want the like the claim for it. They want to be known. They want the people to know what they did.
Man.
Oh, so hot.
That is so twisted. I can't even get behind any of that. That is so weird. How is that hot? They're murdering.
You know which one I was like fascinated with, because it was like here and my parents went through it. What's his name? Sam.
Son of Sam?
Yes. And my mother's like, during that time I was dating your father, and I had to cover my hair in the car, and I was like, oh my God, it's so hot, Phyllis. Like, I can't believe that you really lived through it. You really were scared. You were in a car driving with your boyfriend, and you were scared that someone was going to like shoot you or pull you over or something. I was like, oh, so hot. And she was like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, you're insane.
My mother had the same story where they would go out. What's his name? The killer there?
Son of Sam. Yeah.
The Son of Sam, that she would go out and it was like a crazy time to.
Yep.
Which seems so bizarre to me, because I remember her telling me this when I was like a younger kid. And I still think this is like, why would you go out? Like, I don't understand. Like, you couldn't take a summer off. Like, but I guess I was, when you're in your 20s, you're like, fuck that shit. You think you're invisible.
Yeah. Plus everybody, since when does anybody listen to anything that they're told to do? Oh, yeah, get vaccinated. Nope. Wear a mask. Nope. Stay inside because there's a serial killer out there. Nope.
Yeah,
that's even more like that. I would have not listened to. I would have tried to find him.
What is wrong with you? He's a murderer.
Serial killers are very fascinating to me.
They may be fascinating, but you wouldn't want to be, caught by one.
Maybe. Yeah, Frank, you're right.
You're insane.
Janine, if you had to choose between being murdered by a serial killer or just having a plain old heart attack.
Oh, you kidding me? Serial killer, definitely.
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Is that even a question for me?
I don't even know how to respond to any of this.
The thing is, hold on, Twisty.
Sorry.
Take your time. Day. Hey,
it's been a long day.
I think that a lot of times these documentaries they make on the serial killers are quite boring, and they don't do it right. The last one that we watched, which one was it?
Was it Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes, that one I love.
That's not a documentary.
No, it was like a show. It was a show,
right.
loosely based off of him. Yeah, but I like the guy who played him, so I think he's hot. So there you go.
Yeah, that's creepy. I don't think that guy works again ever.
You don't think so?
Who's going to give him another part?
He's been doing up until that role. He's been doing a lot of, he was in a lot of stuff. He's in all the American Horror Story things. I don't know if he's in the new season coming out, but.
So is he going to be just like a horror guy? Is that what he's relegated to?
I don't know. He was in all not all, but a lot of the X-Men stuff.
Wait, let me just tell you this. I just wanted to see if there was a list of the hottest serial killers. What is the first thing that came up? 9 serial killers who we would want us. Who we want us. Oh my God.
Take
9
3.
serial killers who we would want to slice us open. Absolutely. See? Oh yeah.
The thing, Frank, is she's not alone in this. I feel like the majority of women.
I think it's all talk and bullshit, because if reality struck, it would be the most terrifying, and like you'd be inconsolable.
Jeffrey Dahmer is
turned
number 3.
on, you'd be terrified.
Jeffrey Dahmer's number 3. Who's number 1?
Oh, number 1's got to be what's his name? What the hell is his name?
Oh yeah, Ted Bundy. I forgot about him too.
Ted Bundy.
Everybody thought he was good looking, right?
He is. Charles Manson is scary. No, not him.
Ted Bundy. What's his name? Played him in that. That was an interesting movie. I gotta look it up now.
Yeah, the good looking girl who's in all the movies.
Guy, Ted Bundy.
Yeah, but he's got eyes like a girl. He was in Bad Grandpa and the Baywatch remake.
Oh yeah.
Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil, and Vile was the name of that movie.
What's his name, the dude?
His name is Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
You know, James Hetfield was in that movie.
Get out of here. Was that right?
He played the arresting officer, the guy who caught him. And he had like 2 scenes, couple lines. He was good.
I feel like he would make a great actor if he just gave up this stupid music career already. It's going nowhere.
Yeah, enough with this Metallica something.
We get it. You like writing songs.
Yeah.
Why don't you just do what you've been chosen to do, which is act?
He was good.
Who's hottest on this list for you, Janine? Is there a surprise outside of number 1, Ted Bundy?
I think he's probably the hottest one. I'm looking at them now, and I'm like, oh, what did they do?
All right, let me ask you a question.
They did some fucked up stuff, man. This isn't,
Here's a real question. Your husband comes home from work. All right, he's got blood on him. He says to you, listen, something happened. I killed somebody. Let's not talk about it. I think it's going to be fine.
Yeah, I'm not taking questions at this time.
Yeah.
What?
I'm going to go take a shower. Is he now more attractive to you? Or are you scared?
I would say neither, and I'd say probably annoyed because I'm going to have to help him clean up some mess.
He forgot something, right? Yeah. You look at you. You're like, look at you. You're like, I have no faith that he pulled this off the right way.
I think you're born to be a serial killer. It's not something that like, out of the blue, like, I just killed someone. I think you're born to be one. So I think if you have that in you,
you don't think it's like has to do with the way you were raised and stuff that's happened to you over your life. Mm-hmm. I think it's probably a mixture of both.
Well, didn't Dahmer give up his brain to be studied or something like that?
Something. There was something that they looked into. I think after he died, didn't they do something? They did something with his brain. I remember something.
Well, was it in the movie or did they not say?
I don't know. I feel like it might have been. All I know is that I want to get that Will Smith concussion doctor guy to get on this. I think we need him to, because that's how he figured out all the NFL guys were getting concussions, and he discovered CTE. I think he can discover something in these serial killers. Because something's fucking up. So I was reading like all these interviews of people that were like had all these interactions with him, and it's kind of crazy. Like, we talked about the neighbors living near him, but like he would go to the same place to get a haircut for the last 30 years. The haircut guy was like, and they all said the same thing. He was kind of quiet to himself, but very weird. And don't we all know somebody in our lives that's like just weird that you're like, what's wrong with them? Like they're just.
I'm not quiet though.
That's true.
That's the weird. That's the you just nailed it. That's the combination. Weird loudmouth, entertaining podcast host. Weird quiet person, possible serial killer.
Right. Yeah, you got. I mean, do you have people around? You have anybody around you that's like that, like on your block or something?
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah, I do. Are
there like rumors around the neighborhood?
No, but I feel like every neighborhood has that like house. It's funny, the Massapequa guy who goes around on TikTok, I got to get his name, Tom something, some bullshit.
Right.
Anyway, he was like, we never saw this coming. We all thought it was like this house. And he pointed to some house that looked weird in Massapequa. And all the comments were like, oh, me too. Like that house has been there for 30 years. We all thought there were serial killers in there. Yeah, across the street from me. Next to my famous neighbor, there was a house which was just you never saw the people. There was like for a while there was like raccoons like digging a hole in the roof, like they never mowed the lawn.
Jeez.
Like the famous neighbor we used to mow his lawn, and then when he was gone, somebody else just would like pay to just like please, because if not, the grass would be like 6 feet tall and look like terrible. But there was like a family who lived there, and I remember when they sold the house and they like gutted it, it was like a weird, Because like we were all standing outside being like, how many bodies are they going to find in there?
I can't even, there's a family living. There's a house near me that is just covered. You can't see the house. There's so much, it's a regular block that you walk down the block and there's maybe a couple of trees on the block. But in this house, there's so much there's so many shrubs and trees and ivy and everything. You can't even see the house on this one block. And I think, to be fair, I think it's like an old person or an old couple that lives in there. They don't, upkeep anything. But other than that, I don't know. I haven't seen anybody come in or out. But, every now and then there's like a delivery or something. But, it's just it's that one house on the block. It's not, again, it could be an old couple or something, but it stands out, from the rest of the houses. Is basically the point.
Well, you never know.
Yeah,
because that guy literally proved his point that house looked like shit, and people probably passed and go, "Oh, that looks like a serial killer house," and it was.
I wonder if anybody right now is living in the Amityville house. It's just you brought it to my mind. I don't know.
Oh, I wonder.
Because it's still there.
I would stay there. Would you?
Is it? No. I thought they tore it down like a few years ago, just before the pandemic.
I don't know. Did they? I
think they remodeled the front finally. I thought I saw a story on that.
All right, I'm looking it up.
Take a look at it. But yeah, they were talking about. So anyway, they talked to his barber. They talked to his the guy at the deli that used to serve him sandwiches.
Oh my god! Wait, that's what my roommate said. He's like, I wonder what the deli guy thinks. I'm like, what? He's like, I wonder what the deli's like. Guy's like, I used to cut him these cold cuts, and he was cutting up people.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly what the deli guy said. Quiet, weird, and he was cutting up people who knew. And then they were saying, the local supermarket, they were saying that they would see his wife and children, but oddly, over like 20 years or whatever, they never were in there together. And that his wife was always like mopey and quiet and like depressed looking. And, that she never came in with him, who, by the way, she filed for divorce on Wednesday. Kind of a standard move, right? When you're
well, I mean, you're gonna have to, right?
I would hope so. Now, here, the real Amityville Horror House in Amityville on Long Island. You're right. It did. It's funny that why the question comes up on Google. Why is Amityville House blurred out on Google Maps? Apparently, the owners, you were right, renovated and remodeled, so it doesn't look the same as it used to. And the current owners requested Google remove it from Street View. So if you actually Google Map, it's blurred or something.
Yeah, because when you live in a famous house, I saw a thing on the people who bought the house from Home Alone, and they're like, everybody's not like. Could you imagine everybody at any time is taking pictures in front of their house?
It's house gotta be constant.
You know what else? The other house, Walter White's house. What's his name?
Oh, sure, from Breaking Bad.
The owners said that it was so annoying that they had to like always close their shades because people would just constantly come and take pictures in front of the house.
What was also going on at that house was people were throwing pizzas. You ever watch the show?
No, don't spoil it.
It's not. This isn't a bit. It's a very famous thing that happens in the show, and it doesn't affect any of the plot or anything.
Go
ahead. Walter White has a pizza. He gets pissed, so he like flips the box like this. He's out in the front of his house, and the whole pizza lands on the roof. And it was not part of the script, but that's what happened. So over a couple of episodes, it's still up there, and then he finally takes it down. So people they've been known to throw pizzas on these people's house.
It's fucking terrible
that they filmed this thing.
That's awful.
Yeah. You know the house from remember the Money Pit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That house is a real house. That's in on northern Long Island. It's not that, it's accessible, but it's up there. I wonder how many people probably not that one. That's a kind of an obscure house.
They say the same thing about the Soprano house too, but it's a little harder because it's like off the road, but it's in a cul-de-sac, but people like gather in the cul-de-sac all the time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's just fucking annoying. All right, now this coming in from Paige, who always has good stuff. Today, the Independent reported Rudy Giuliani was in Rex's house 2 days later, and he took items. He took video for his show too.
How could he?
That's
what?
Weird.
He could just take something from a suspect's house?
Please send me a link to that. Because, yeah, they've been guarding the shit out of that house, pulling guns and all kinds of crazy stuff. So if he actually has video that he's going to put out, I would love to see that, please.
That's crazy.
Yeah, please send that to me.
Number one, it's a suspect, current investigation. Number two, it's probably a crime scene. No?
Right. Well, wait, was it confirmed that he killed the girls inside his house or no?
No, but they said that they think one of the murders might have taken place. That was a report that kind of went around for a little bit. I don't know if anybody confirmed that, but they think or not that the murder took place in the house, but the girl was in the house.
So I read today that he picked up one of the hookers a couple of blocks away from me where I live. Because,
is that right?
Yes, because she lived where I live. And they ignored a description not from Gilgo Beach, from where I live, but from I guess from a neighbor that saw him around her house. Because she went missing.
So that might have been the other thing we were going to talk about, which was, he went over to this girl's house, right, to have a sexual encounter, and there were other people there in the house, and there was people who saw him going into the house and leaving the house. So for whatever reason, there was nothing happened that night. She didn't have any sexual encounter with him, and he left angry. I guess he had already paid her, so he was like texting her like when they could actually do it, so on and so forth. And they planned to meet up again, and she was never heard from again. But the witnesses that were around the house and in the house both said that it was an ogre type of a guy who was driving an Avalanche truck.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like a rare car these days. Like nobody has an Avalanche anymore. Or there's very few of them. It's not like a Toyota Camry. There's like tons everywhere. And so the police had this information for years and did nothing about it for years.
Well, either they did nothing or, I mean, they finally, at least, I wonder what prompted the sudden, not interest, but the sudden action.
It goes back to James Burke. Mm-hmm. When he was running the cops in Suffolk County, he blocked the FBI and the investigation went nowhere. The new Suffolk County police guy comes in, restarts the investigation. Within a few months, they got the guy. So, again, going back to this Burke guy, you can't tell me this guy didn't fucking protect Rex Heuermann because they found him like that as soon as he was out of the way.
Wow.
Right? Corrupt as shit.
So is there any there's got to be an investigation into that guy?
Well,
the Suffolk cop, the
Burke. Yeah, he's in jail.
He's in jail. He's in jail anyway. But like I said, there were a lot of like cop parties in that neighborhood by Gilgo Beach. So they probably wanted to protect some of those people too, or who were having these hookers come over there.
Right. So, not that a cop would ever do anything wrong, because they wouldn't.
Especially not with hookers.
That's for our pal who gets mad at us when we say bad things about cops. I believe the cops wouldn't do anything wrong ever.
I just so hot. I can't believe this guy was.
You need to take a minute? You need a break?
This guy was like only a few blocks away from me.
And you've seen a picture of this guy, right?
Yeah, he's gross.
Yeah, he's disgusting.
So what about,
Okay, here's my question. Does it weird you out, Janine, that there's sex workers like working around near you? Because here's the other part of this. You look at all these, like there was the thing not too long ago, we talked about it. Like a huge hooker ring, drug ring got busted on Long Island. I'm like, who's fucking doing this? Like, how is this possible? And then I saw a video. Somebody sent me video of Queens. There's like this area in Queens where you drive by like 2 or 3 blocks. There's 60, 70 women.
No.
Just standing outside. I don't know where are the Mets? Where is that area? Roosevelt. No, Roosevelt. Right by where the Mets play.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a street down there, and there's all these videos. You just drive down, and there's just women. I don't understand how this, like...
How it's so out in the open,
yeah.
And yet...
I mean, I guess it's because if you're a cop, you have to actually catch them in the act. Like, there's no law against just... But you know what they're doing out there.
Are you surprised that there's a lot of hookers out there?
No, I'm a constant drug rings and hooker rings. I am constantly surprised about.
Yeah, because it's so like, especially the hooker stuff. It's like you said, you pass by and you spot them, like they stick out like a sore thumb. It's like, how are they not getting caught every 10 seconds?
Yeah, and like on Long Island, like we have weird like motels, like because there's no reason to. We have a few hotels, around convention centers or whatever, wedding venues. Okay, there's a couple of those you might have to go to. Bless you.
Bless you.
A motel is there for one reason and one reason only, and maybe young kids trying to find they can't bang in their own house. So they take their significant others to go bang in the motel. I get that. But other than that, there's some bit like if you want to catch, bless you.
Bless you.
If you want to catch a hooker ring, just park outside of one of the motels.
Stake out a motel.
Yeah.
There's actually one not too far from me, surprisingly, that it's obviously a hooker motel. I'm surprised. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'm surprised that there's a lot of hookers.
I bet a lot of them maybe, I don't want to say are informants, but they have their eye on the street and maybe they give information every now and then. They know like the inside stuff, what's going on with who. So maybe they're in exchange for a cop looking the other way, they give them information on someone else,
I don't know, but the thing is, like back in the day, like a lot of these women were found on Craigslist. If not all of them, this guy. I don't know if that's still true. I don't know if that's actually still used. Is it? You tell me, Anthony, since you know a lot about it.
You would know.
No, but I don't know. That's the answer. I'm not surprised that there are hookers in the world or on Long Island, but I am surprised at how large the network gets.
Maybe that's how I feel too.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point. Yeah, because eventually, I mean, the number of prostitutes and the number of clients, I mean, you got to figure at some point the whole thing would blow up because one person is going to be a cop and be like, it's all over. I feel like it's hanging by a thread every time. Like the jig is going to be up as soon as a cop catches wind of it. But
yeah. And the other weird thing, but this is what I think about too. Okay, if there's like $1 million hooker ring going on, who's visiting this? Because that's what I think about too when I go to pick up like my kids from school. Like I'll look around at all the dads and be like, which one of these guys is going to the? Somebody's supporting these people. Someone's
giving them who knows?
Yeah. And then the other thing that's really amazing, I am shocked that there are still small town hookers with OnlyFans. Because it's like if you could make a ridiculous amount of money by yourself just by taking pictures and videos on OnlyFans, why would you sleep with some fucking strange weirdo dude?
Yeah, that's
OnlyFans
true. Why?
Is probably the better way to go. It's safer.
Quick buck.
Yeah, you make your money. You're in the safety of your own home. You got to worry about all that. It's legal. For number one, it's safe.
The stuff I do on there is not legal, but legal.
I swear to God, if I was a halfway decent, attractive woman, I'd put a mask on and I would just do OnlyFans. Like, how could you? I wouldn't do anything else. I don't understand why. How many women are there in this country? 360, 180?
Probably 100. Yeah, about 150, 180 million.
Okay, 180 million. I'm shocked there's not 165 performers on OnlyFans. I'm shocked.
Really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that like sort of what's the word? A drop in the bucket. You'd probably make $1.50 a year.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
If there's that many people doing that.
But again, I've seen some fours being like, here's my pay stub. I made $7,000, in the last week, and you're just like, there's a lot of Rex Harrimans out there fucking paying forking shit over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of them. Last thing on Rex, oddly, an ex-NYPD cop had a run-in with him 2 weeks ago.
Oh, shit, really?
They were on the train. I guess the cop was doing something that Rex didn't like, and he described it as like a road rage incident.
Wow.
Yeah, the cop said, who I don't think they gave the identity of, he said, quote, "We had a very innocuous interaction where he took umbrage with something that I was doing, and it just escalated into some heated words."
Was the cop jerking off on the train?
No, he wasn't. Oh, Kevin Young was his name. Okay, can I tell you something?
No.
My older cousin, here in New York, you go to high school. When you go to high school, you start to take like public transportation, which is, I guess, kind of a weird thing. Like to take a train or a bus as like a teenager, but it kind of just happens.
It happens all over. Yeah.
Yeah. And so she told me there's a train. It's pretty, all the trains in New York are infamous, but the A train has an odd loop. It goes like from Queens into Manhattan, I think into Brooklyn.
It goes Queens through Brooklyn into Manhattan.
Does it go up to the Bronx? I forget if it goes all the way up.
I don't think so.
Anyway. So when I was younger and she was going to high school, she was like, yeah, she's like, the A train is disgusting. She said it so matter of fact. She's like, yeah, you get on there and there's guys that just take their dick out and start jerking off. In my mind, I thought, oh, that's what men do on the like, I don't want to go on the train and have to sit near. Like she might have saw one dude happening, but in my mind, I just thought, oh, is this what people do when they get on the train? They just.
That's apparently it's a thing.
Start that, but I picture in my mind. I picture there's 10 guys on the train all whacking off at the same time because that's instead of reading the paper, that's what they do.
That's just what. Yeah, that's just instead of having earbuds in.
Yeah,
you got to do something to fill the 45-minute train ride.
Yeah, like and then I remember
they can fill something.
I remember like being in like growing up, and then it was my turn, and I don't think I asked my mom this, but I did like have that moment where I should be like, what do I do if some guy starts whacking off? Like, do I
what
call?
What do you do? You go the other way.
Do I call the cops or something?
What do you do?
No, now you film them.
You tell them, I must draw you, and you sit across from them.
I must draw you. Yeah, now you film it and send it over to World Star,
Yeah. What do you do? I've been on the train, Manhattan, everywhere in New York. I've never seen that once.
Oh, I have.
Have you it?
I'm trying to think if I ever saw that.
Never saw it once.
I don't know. We have seen some crazy.
I've seen some stuff on the train, weird, crazy stuff, but never saw that. Thank God.
Do you remember the guy? There was a guy one time. I think you were with me, Frank. He was on the train and he was eating chicken out of a Tupperware, and it smelled horrendous. And I just remember like looking at him and wondering what he was eating. And he was just a huge like diesel guy. And then I'm looking at him eating chicken, and he had the most perfect, like manicured, like looked like a lady's hands. Like he had fingernail, like long finger, like clearly he was a drag guy, but like he had just like these beautiful fingernails, but he was just eating this like disgusting chicken.
I don't know. It sounds vaguely familiar, but.
And it stunk up the whole car. It was one of those times where, when you get on a train and it's relatively crowded, but there's a huge gap in people and there's one person sitting there.
The worst is
usually a homeless person. It's usually a homeless person.
Yeah.
When the train pulls up and there's a whole empty car. You ever just this, you just, I guess it's the naiveness. You just go, oh, look at this. This is empty. Why is nobody going in this one? And you just,
I'm going to get a good seat.
I got a seat now. Everybody's crammed into the other ones like sardines. You're like, oh, I'm going to go into this one. And as soon as you take one step in, it's like, got it. Thank you.
That's why. Oh, there's a human pile of shit on the floor. Okay, hold on.
There's shit here. There's someone threw up there, and this whole car smells.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
I remember one time we got on a bus and there was just the bus seats are plastic and they like bend in for your ass, you know? So there's like a little bend and there was just a mystery liquid. There was weird gray color liquid just sloshing around in this one seat. And you just look at it and go, what is that? What could that be?
You're waiting for like the brakes to hit and it just goes somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
The best was when we took the bus and someone leaves the window open and it's raining, so like half the seats are puddles, and you're like, I can't even, it's raining outside, and we all have to stand, and all these seats are empty.
Yeah,
that sucked.
We could probably do a whole episode on train stories,
public transportation.
I have a lot.
I feel like I've seen people. I feel like I've seen a girl with her hand down a guy's pants. I feel like that I saw once.
What did you take the train home with me and my roommate once? Then.
Is that you guys saw that too?
No, it was them.
They were the ones doing it.
Oh.
Me.
Come on, Ann.
Sorry.
Try to keep up.
Can't believe I didn't see that joke. That was a good one.
Hello.
I apologize for that. Yeah, buses.
Yeah, at least buses are above ground. That's the only positive thing you could say about them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, that was that. They they kept having words. They had a weird exchange. Again, I mean, I bet you it's odd to say, but there are thousands of people on Long Island that saw this dude's picture and had an interaction with him and went, "Holy shit!"
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Well, how long has it been since and I'm sure this guy goes to whatever stores and interacts just like anybody else, but.
Over a decade. The exciting thing now is, like Janine was saying, who are they protecting and how many other people are about to fall?
Take them down, baby. Take them all down.
Yeah, I hope so too. Presidential poll. There's a new poll out there that says neither Joe Biden or Donald Trump are fit to be president.
Well,
is it like, is there someone that they think is fit, or is it just, do you think these two are fit?
Yeah, they just asked them, like, based on their record, activity, behavior. 55% of Americans think Joe Biden is not fit to be president. 53% think Donald Trump is not fit to be president.
That's a sad
so who do we have there? No one.
That's a sad poll.
That's what I was wondering.
More people
I'm too much of an optimist to not think that at some point there is going to be somebody who rises to power, who is charismatic and wonderful and actually a good leader, who's not compromised, and they're going to get voted into office. Let's assume that I'm right. How long do you think it's going to take for that to happen? Let's assume we agree on the premise that it's going to happen.
20 years? 20 years?
20 years?
I could see it's a good question, because let's say my prediction would be Biden wins the next one. And then after that, Trump's not going to run again. I don't think. If Biden wins this one, do you think Trump would run in 20?
No.
20, no, right? He'd be too old.
I disagree with the both of you.
You think he will? No, I didn't say, I'm asking if he would.
Yeah, I think that there's no way.
So?
I think he would. I don't think he would stop running again until. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Even if he lost this time and ran the next time, if he ever won again, guaranteed he is going to try and get them to repeal whatever act it is that says a president could only serve 8 years. That's my guarantee. I don't know if he can do it, but he will try. He will absolutely try. He's probably kicking himself for not doing it the first time.
Right.
And he'll do it till he'll be as president as many times as he can until he's dead.
As much as he can until he is dead, because he believes he is the greatest thing to ever happen to humanity, let alone this country.
My prediction is Biden wins 2024, and then 2028. I think we have an opportunity to get some new people in and get some new blood.
He's not going to win.
Buttigieg would be good. He's a nice, honest guy, I think.
But a gig.
Yeah, he would be good. Every time he's really sharp when it comes to interviews. You see him, he's never stammering. He's always got an answer, and it's always a good answer. So I could see him. I mean, he ran already, but he didn't make it far. But I could see him running again. And he's
he
young.
won't say happy April Fools when it's Christmas Day.
Right.
Yeah, seriously, Frank. I know you don't like Trump. I'm not disagreeing with you. You're not a little worried that this guy has gone off the reservation. I mean, if you're voting for Biden, you got to know you're voting for the machine behind Biden at this point.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. They could wheel, like I said, they could wheel him in Hannibal Lecter style, right up to the podium, and he's better than Trump.
Yeah,
that's fine. Just take that, the Hannibal Lecter mask off his face and let him talk, and then put him back. Fine. Way better.
Part of our conversation on this presidential poll, I do want to touch on, because if not, Glenn B will have our heads, is this whole Burisma thing that's flaring back up again and coming back around. They're really, I don't know if it's just political pandering, to be honest with you. Again, full disclosure, usually I research the shit out of everything before we talk about it. This one, I have to be honest with you, I haven't. And I still don't know if we know the truth or we're going to know the truth just yet. But they're saying that he, was that Grassley there released the document that the FBI had. And they're really positioning this as the FBI was protecting the Bidens, that the Bidens took money from the folks over at from the Ukraine to push the guy out. The whole.
I heard that document. I could be wrong, but I heard somewhere that document was debunked, or something about that was not 100% accurate. I could be wrong, but don't quote me on that. But he should face the same. If all of it's true, if they were corrupt, if they took bribes, whatever the case may be, they need to, take the consequences. That's right. No one's above the law. Not Trump, not Biden. Don't care who it is. You broke the law. That's that. You have to pay the price. That's it.
All right. Here's my notes on this quickly. The head of the Ukrainian gas company, Burisma, laid out in stark terms to a quote-unquote credible FBI informant exactly when he had Hunter Biden on the payroll. He needed the then vice president's son to solve problems and get a prosecutor in the Ukraine fired. That Burisma executive, Mykola Zlotskevsky, said he was pressured to pay Hunter $5 million and Joe Biden another $5 million for their assistance. We know Hunter was paid his money. It's documented. We also know that he had no expertise in oil and gas, was addicted to drugs and all the things that we've seen so far on the laptop. See, again, like that's, the weird thing is that's enough for me not to trust, because he's a politician, Politicians this is what they do. Don't pay me, pay the person I know, and I'll get the fucking money from them. And Hunter Biden has zero ability to run a company, or let alone a gas and oil company in the fucking Ukraine, as the son of the vice president of the United States at the time. Like, that's enough to me. That's enough for me to be like, this is shady as fuck. And they released a video of Joe Biden bragging about the fact that he got the prosecutor fired. Now, everybody wanted the prosecutor fired, supposedly. He was a bad, shady person. So I remember that at the time.
That was not unpopular. He was supposed to do that kind of thing. That was like his objective.
Right. So now I guess it all so Grassley then put out this, he talked about the document, then he released the document. The FBI is slamming it because they're like, hey, this is in the middle of an investigation, and you're releasing information around a credible FBI informant, and you could be exposing that person and fucking us over. And I think that's kind of what it all comes down to, because are there these tapes of this guy recording this stuff? And are we ever going to really hear from the FBI informant that,
right,
this shit really did happen? And is it going to really make a difference going into the election? I think that's why we have these crazy numbers of just nobody trusts these people. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody loves Joe Biden. It's just, he wasn't Trump.
Right. I think a lot of people just voted for him just because it wasn't Trump, and that's it.
Just wasn't Trump, and they had enough Trump.
Yeah, I would have loved to see Bernie probably take if he was
feel the burn.
If he was the Democratic nominee, I would have been fine with that. That would have been fine. You know, he seems like a good guy.
He's cute.
He knows what he's doing. He's against the super rich and for the middle class. You know, so he would have been good. But
even though he's super rich himself, well,
where's that rich? I don't think he's that rich.
Let's put him to the.
He has like a few million, but I don't
he's rich now.
Oh, that's okay. Only a few million.
Well, for a senator, that's pretty. You know, they make 200 whatever grand a year, whatever it is.
Yeah, he's rich now. He was broke for a long. He was actually in debt for a long time.
Yeah.
Let's put him to the test, though. Janine, would you want to feel the burn? Could he get it?
Yeah, probably. I had to think about that for.
Yeah, I wasn't so confident. Your voice did go up in pitch.
I'm gonna give you the 99%.
Ooh.
All you got to do is give me your 1%.
All right, so that's that. AI Pact. The founders and people responsible for Meta, Facebook and Instagram, Google, and OpenAI commit to the White House Pact on responsible AI development.
Okay, so finally there's some regulations going on here. I feel like for a while, it for the last like 30 years, it's been the wild, wild west. Who could create the biggest fucking thing?
I got to stop you for a second there. Not regulations, a pact is a different thing.
Right.
I think they spit in their hands and shook on it digitally.
Okay.
Amazon also included in this, and Flex, a bunch of other companies. The pledges surfaced as the companies are locked into a fierce competition to dominate the AI field, even as experts, including Elon Musk and OpenAI's own CEO Sam Altman, warn that unchecked development could pose risks ranging from sweeping job losses to the spread of misinformation to the possibility of extinction of humanity.
Yikes.
We are literally in the Terminator movie.
God, it's just we're just pressing forward with it. I agree, you know, AI will be useful in a lot of ways. But I like this idea of keeping it in check. And is a pact, is it legally binding? Is they all had to sign something? Is this anything like that?
I don't know. I mean, and who knows, even if you get these companies to agree to it, if some other young company developer comes up with something that takes the world by storm. Because here's the thing.
Well, they'd have to be, you know, they would have to know. I'm sure we would notice it at some point.
Right. But the problem is we're suckers for great investments.
Yeah.
So if you can get your money in on something, everybody's going to pour their money into it, and then they're going to root for it, and you're going to try and make out, even though it might be the demise of humanity altogether. But I wanted to use this as an opportunity to circle back to the AI girlfriend talk that we scratched the surface with last
boyfriend.
Or boyfriend, yeah. Because this to me is such a dangerous element to it, that if you can find, you know, love or romance or companionship through a robot, you know, which might start in your cell phone or on a tablet, but eventually may take a human form. I got an ad the other day for a robot dog, like an AI dog, and it was like it was like a little iPad screen on this thing that was moving around, and it had expressions and it had feelings, and it would get excited if you called it a certain way.
That's like kind of like my husband. Go ahead.
Yeah, they've had like robot dogs that respond to stuff for decades now.
Just weirds me out with this idea of like, are you? Because I think finding
robot rabbits. Go ahead.
Finding a mate is so incredibly difficult, and it might be the most challenging thing that most people go through, is putting themselves out there to find themselves a significant other. That's when true. You start taking that out of the equation.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'll be honest. Because couldn't you make them how you want, like, your perfect partner to be?
Exactly. You don't have to. The idea of compromise in a relationship being eliminated, how is that not an appealing feature?
But I feel like if it's true AI and it's not just a robot, then it would have its own.
Yep.
I don't want to say free will, but maybe something like that.
I want to put parameters.
Where it would argue with you. You know, it might argue with you.
Couldn't you program that? Like Janine was parameters. Couldn't you program that out of it?
Then it's not artificial intelligence, just a robot that you're banging.
I'm in.
I mean, you know, and if you're comfortable with, if there are people out there that, I'm sure there are people out there that they just can't find anybody, and this would probably be good for them.
No, but think about it. I want you to think about this for a second.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about this thing cheating on you. You don't have to worry about it losing its job. You don't have to worry about it, not, doing whatever responsibilities you needed to do. You never have to worry about that. And it also can talk to you about all the things that you love, like Star Wars and Metallica. Yeah, but it'll just, this idea that you can satisfy your every want and need and no longer have to know.
No, there's no. Yeah, that's not. It's not.
I mean,
real, though.
It'll walk the dog for. It's raining and snowing. It'll get an umbrella and go outside and walk the dog for you. You don't have to worry about it.
How about this? Here's what I would like it to be programmed to do. When you're trying to figure out what you want to eat for dinner or go out, like, hey, what do you want? I don't know. What do you want? I want this robot. I'm sorry, this AI person to know my 3 top places and want to know what I want without me saying it.
Mm-hmm. You don't know your 3 top places? You can't figure that out on your own?
No. When I ask my husband, he goes, what do you want to eat? And I say, I don't know. What do you want to eat? And he's like, Chinese. And I'm like, ugh, I don't want Chinese. I don't want him to say Chinese. I want him to say my favorite Mexican place so I don't have to say it.
Right.
So just pick your 3 places and tell your husband that. Say, hey, whenever I ask you, for what we want to eat for dinner, bring up these 3 places. I'm sure he would remember at least one of them.
Because he's a man. He's not going to remember.
How about just write them down?
No, it's too much work.
Okay.
Maybe the AI guy can help me chop his body up. Go ahead.
Alexa could help you with that, or whomever, one of those things.
I have another theory about women, which I'd like to take a quick poll on and get answers in the live chat.
Oh, good.
Is it me, or do all women prefer tacos / Mexican food / margaritas? Like, I feel like that is,
as opposed to what,
70-80% of the time, if you ask a female what they want to have for dinner, 80% you're probably going to get Mexican back as a response.
You think 80%?
That's my theory on women. Yeah, I think women are driving the sales of Mexican food and tacos and quesadillas in this country.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm a huge Mexican food fan, and I'm not gonna. I think Erin goes. What does Cuddles go for? Erin, I think, burgers is probably her favorite.
You better say the right thing here.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Would be burgers is her way over Mexican food. She's a burger fan.
That's interesting. All right, this is what I'm gonna revise this. 60% of the time Mexican. I'm gonna say 20% of the time Italian. Maybe like 10 to 15% of the time like burgers or something, like bar food or whatever, and then 5% miscellaneous. I feel like that's all women across the board.
That's true for me. You probably nailed it.
Is that I feel like most women are like that. I don't know why.
My wife and I, we've been getting into those poke bowls.
Oh, I fucking love a poke bowl.
Fucking
Don't
great.
talk about her vagina like that.
Boom.
God damn, I love a poke bowl. Yeah, because you know what I love about a poke bowl? Somebody in Hawaii looked at sushi and went, let's just open this up. This
isn't enough.
We got to put this in
that shit in a bowl and let's fucking have a party with it.
Let's fucking really go for it.
Yeah. You got the sushi in there. You got it's got some of that seaweed salad. Throw it in there. Some rice, some sauces. Mix it up. Great. You're all good.
The best part about a poke bowl is you can feel healthy about it because you go like this.
Yeah.
Not a lot of rice. Just not a lot of rice.
I don't say that. Why would you say that?
And it's still a half a pound of rice in there, but you're like,
I never had one here.
Oh, really? So good. They're the best.
Here, I had it outside the U.S., but not here.
There's a place by us that does them, and when we discovered this place, we went there 3 nights in a row.
Send me it. Send me the name.
Don't you love that when you
You'd have to
find a
come
new
out here.
place and you can't stop obsessing over it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, it's amazing.
Oh,
We found our pizza place. It took us a while to track down because there's 100 pizza places, but we found the pizza place. We're like, all right, we go there from now on.
Wait, I want to tell you something that you said that.
yes, Miss Justice. Go ahead.
Yes, it does. What's his name? Dave Portnoy. You know how he always reviews the pizza. That's his, one bite.
Mhm.
He reviewed a place that is not too far from me, and what he said is kind of true. I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with him. He said Long Island has the most amount of pizza places in a small area, and at best they're not great. He's right.
They're not all great. They're not all. You have to find that one in your neighborhood. You go to any neighborhood, there's going to be like 30 pizza places. You just got to find that one
Yeah.
that nails it.
But what was funny is he reviewed this pizza place that we go to sometimes, and the lady who either worked there or I think she works there. I don't think she owns it. You got to watch it. It's on his Instagram. The lady was like listening. She had the door open. She was like, "That's not right. Our pizza's good." It's funny. You have to go. You have to watch it because it's like, oh, it's so Long Island what she did. It's like, oh, great. Can you just be more of a stereotype? But it is true, and I'm a hard pizza critic. I don't just go to any place. I'm not a person who says any pizza is good because it's pizza. That's not true. I don't believe that at all.
There was a place when Erin was growing up. She told me about this place that it was so bad, but they had a sign on the front that said their slogan was literally, "At least we deliver." That was their slogan.
Yeah.
So that's
well, because it's all true. It's true what he said, Portnoy, and it's true what Frank is saying. There's a lot, but there's always usually one good one.
Yeah.
Or two. There's always the pizza that's convenient, which we have a lot of convenient, okay pizza. And then there's the pizza place that you're like, let's go to the good pizza place.
Like I'll drive for good pizza. Whereas my husband is like, nah, whatever. You're gonna drive for that? Yeah, I'm gonna drive for that. If I like it, I'm gonna drive for it.
There's a half dozen pizza places that are very close to my house.
I'll take Henry, and an AI guy. Go ahead.
The best one is way out. Is a 10-minute drive, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go there. I'm not.
Now I want to know which one you think is good. You have to send me the names.
I'll send it to you.
You could say it.
Go ahead,
or unless you don't want to say it.
No, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
He doesn't want to give free press. There you go.
True. No free plugs.
Right. No free plugs.
Largely.
Oh yeah, Henry knows where I like to go for pizza.
I like Paul's.
I'm getting mad at him already, and meanwhile Henry's like, he knows
what the hell is
doing.
Henry? What are we talking about?
He gets me cunnilingus twice a day. Go ahead.
That's the thing. How could you turn down utter happiness on tap?
You can't. Sorry, you can't.
No more arguments. Now okay, let me explain where I'm a little broken. Cuddles is a bit of not that we really don't fight. It's weird, but she is a challenge. She's entertaining. We get along 95% of the time, but every now and then, like her different point of view on something, or like I appreciate those things. You won't have that with an AI robot
unless you program that in.
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys have this, but do you ever have like you're so accustomed to a way of doing things, and then your partner just does it a different way, and you're like, it's refreshing, or like something that your family always did, and now you're doing it, and you fucking hate it, but then they do it differently, and you're like, that's the way.
Way better.
We should be doing it.
Yeah, there's feeling, there's heart. AI, you're not going to get that. You're going
to get cunnilingus twice a day, though.
Yeah, maybe. I guess. But it's just
I'm sorry to interrupt, but and this is a little bit more for me and Janine because we got kids. Getting those sex acts in is a little bit more difficult these days. It's like I'm solving a puzzle. You know, like first you have to get past the kid barrier and be able to, and then sometimes it's like you're fucking too tired, or they're too tired, or there's headaches involved. You'd never have to deal with that shit again. You know, you'd never have to deal with whatever it is. There's a headache or tired. Ready whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I could just do this to Henry and he'll know.
But then you can't use the excuse of my wife, doesn't feel good. I can't come out tonight. Because we'd be like, fuck you. Your wife's AI. She's going to be fine. Let's go.
Do you think you can get away with, I have to run an update tonight on the wife? Got to plug her in, run an update. I can't leave.
And she's buffering right now. I can't.
I'm sorry. Why would we have to tell other people that they're AI? Right?
I don't think, if they're, you think they'd be that convincing that they would be? I mean,
yeah, but I think we're years from that. Yeah.
I think we're a while from it being.
God, I hope
you can't pick out a person from a robot. I think we're a little off from that. But if we get to that point, I feel like stuff would come up, like their family. You want to more about them, unless that's all made up. And then do you meet they don't have parents? It's just
Oh no,
you forget to take the sticker off of them or something.
I'm gonna program Henry with a little serial killer foreplay in there. That's what I'm gonna program him with. Yep.
It'll give you serial killer facts as foreplay.
Make sure you program in a safe word.
Could you imagine, Janine? I've ordered margaritas and tacos from your favorite place. Did you know that Ted Bundy liked to do this to his serial? Just hitting you with every fucking thing on the way in.
Also, Janine, I'm 75 years old.
72.
Oh, 72 years old.
Frank, I've got burgers on the way, and the new Metallica song is coming out. Get ready, big boy.
Aaron does that anyway.
Do you want to hear about my time in
Aaron does that anyway.
He goes, you want to listen to Metallica? I'm like, hell yeah, I do.
What'd you say, Janine?
Do you want to hear about my time in Nam? Yes, I do. Pass me that spicy shrimp taco though first before you start.
Spread a little of that Bengay around.
Cool. What's your go-to taco?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, Henry knows which taco I like to go to from different places too.
Yeah, it depends on the place. That's a good point.
Yeah. I do love like a Baja fish taco.
Those are great.
Same.
See, they're good.
Those are really good.
Right? There's something like a mahi or some shit like that, or West Coast Baja shit, whatever bullshit name they could put in front of fish taco always excites me.
Right. Do you think eventually Taco Bell will jump over the line and do a fish taco?
I hope not, man.
Oh,
that would be. I mean, there are fast food places that do fish.
Yeah, that's true. Like Long John Silver's, right?
Right, exactly.
No, that's it. It's literally only Long John Silver's and Popeyes has shrimp. That's fucking it.
No, there's fish sandwiches at other places that, like Burger King, McDonald's, they do fish sandwiches. I'm not saying they're good or bad or whatever, but they do them. I mean, I'm not saying Taco Bell's would be good or bad, but would they try it at least? Like, hey, we're doing. Could you imagine Taco Bell fish tacos?
Could imagine shitting blood from him. Yeah. I feel like the fish taco is like the good pizza place of the taco establishment. Like, yes, I go with chicken and steak and stuff, but like, if you have a great fish taco, that's like like, ooh, I'm gonna get a fish taco. Like, that's announcement worthy. When you sit at the table, you have to tell the person you're with, I think I'm gonna get a fish taco.
Yeah, or a good shrimp taco.
Shrimp taco is good too.
I like a good shrimp taco.
There's a taco place that they started out as one location on Long Island, and now there's a few of them, and they have crazy types of tacos. You know what I'm talking about, Anthony?
Yeah, I think I do. It's like a fusion taco place.
Yes. Have you been?
Yes.
And what'd you think?
I wasn't crazy about it.
Because you didn't get the right kind of taco.
Probably not. Probably.
What's an example of a crazy taco?
Like, they have like a cauliflower taco.
Oh, that's not. You get cauliflower out of everything.
I've never seen a cauliflower taco anywhere.
Well, hold on. Erin C. Frank eats it
That
when I
sounds
go
okay.
out. What does he eat when you go out?
I bet he does. That's what I heard too.
Heyo.
Good Lord.
Wait, I'm gonna.
You walked right into
are
that
you
one.
looking at? Are you looking at the tacos, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm going to the menu right now.
Me too.
Okay, here's an example: a Korean short rib taco.
Yep.
Southern fried chicken taco.
Yeah, that sounds good to me too.
Light and dark meat, buttermilk slaw, queso fresco, corn, tomato salsa, chipotle barbecue sauce.
Right.
Kung Pao chicken, crispy wontons, queso fresco, scallions, crumbled peanuts, pickled chili. It's not horrible. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, here's a great example: Thai meatball, ground beef, pork, lemongrass, mint, peanuts, cucumber, sushi rice, coconut curry sauce.
You lose me at peanuts. I don't like peanuts in my food.
Oh,
You don't like nuts in your food?
No,
What about these nuts? Here's one that's interesting that you would like if you like a poke bowl. Ahi tuna, marinated cucumber, wasabi crema, spicy mayo, cabbage flour, radish, toasted sesame, and obviously tuna in that too. So that's like a poke bowl, but in a taco.
Good.
That sounds good. Yeah.
That does sound good to me too.
All right, here's the question.
Calamari taco.
Okay, that's what I had. It was disappointing.
I
had
feel like
one,
that would be disappointing.
I didn't have it there. I had it at some place in Aruba, and the one in Aruba was, I couldn't believe how good it was. That I was like, oh, I got to get another one.
Right, here's the question:
Yeah.
soft shell, hard shell.
Oh,
I gotta go soft shell.
Me too.
Every time.
I usually do soft. That's what she said.
I'm 80% soft, but I do like a good hard shell taco on occasion. That's what
I take
will.
one bite, it falls apart.
Credit Taco Bell for this: the double decker taco where they put the soft shell outside of the hard shell.
That's genius.
Love that.
That is genius. Hold the whole thing together. It doesn't crumble.
They do that. They do that at this other Mexican place near me. We discovered this last time we went, and it changed the taste of the taco for the better, and it was really good. So now roommate says, "Oh, we're gonna have to do that now every time."
I'm surprised more like real taco places don't do that. Is it because they feel like they're gonna get accused of stealing from Taco Bell?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
People like that though.
It's a good move. I mean, you're stealing. All right, you're doing, but like, hamburgers all have buns. We're not stealing that from anybody. It's just tacos have shells. You could combine the shell. You're fine.
Yeah.
I feel like they did it first, but
to be honest with you, I always felt like Olive Garden actually came up with some pretty creative and new, innovative Italian dishes ideas.
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
Why don't real Italian places steal this from them and actually make it with good quality ingredients?
What?
Like they had like a lasagna thing once where like they like had like instead of like a big lasagna, it was just like lasagna like rolled up, and there was like 3 different types. I'm like, that's kind of genius. Like,
I like that.
Like it was like eggplant rollatini and then lasagna with chicken inside, and then like regular traditional lasagna. Like, who doesn't want to have fucking 3 different kinds of lasagna on one plate?
Oh, that is true.
You know,
that sounds good.
They've come up with some pretty good ideas. But back to Portnoy, I have to just say this, and I don't know, crucify me if I've said this already.
Okay.
I give him all the credit in the world. I think he's a wonderfully entertaining human being.
He is.
I think the pizza reviews is incredibly creative. He got to that mountain first, and everybody has followed and just ripping him off. But his taste in pizza is horseshit. Like, the guy literally likes white trash New England bar pizza, which is just greasy and disgusting. And he doesn't like Neapolitan, which is across the board the best style and tastiest pizza that you could possibly fucking get. It's the most pure form of pizza.
I like deep dish. I like a nice thick dough.
What are you from, Chicago?
Oh, it's good stuff. See, Chicago, it's weird. I went to Chicago and I had Chicago style pizza. I didn't care for it. Wasn't that like it was okay.
And you like deep dish, and you didn't like did you go to Pizzeria Uno?
I did not go to Pizzeria Uno. No, I had a deep dish pizza on Long Island, and it was good. It was like basically Sicilian pizza,
to find
but
out
round.
who from where.
See, I'm a big fan. I like the Sicilian. I like the thick dough.
You know what's great? Okay, you'd love this. What I love about deep dish, and a place by me does this with theirs, the grandpa slice or the upside down slice, they call it, where they put the cheese down on the dough first, and then the sauce goes on top. And it's like the whole slices of cheese. Oh, there's something magical that happens when you do it the other way around.
What is that?
I do like that too.
It's pretty
good. Wait, what are you talking about that Portnoy likes? The Connecticut one?
The Connecticut stuff I don't have a problem with. I know the Connecticut stuff is good. I know that. It's like the other, like, he went to Jersey once where I spent my summers, and he went to this place that you would never consider going to, like, ever. It's just like a weird trashy bar, and he gave it like an 8.9 or something, and it's like, you gotta be fucking, and it's like orange, like, when you use the not right, you don't use the real cheese, and it turns the oil, it gets oily and orange on top. He's like, this is fucking great because it was crispy. It's like, I'm sorry, I appreciate your hustle, but you have no credibility with me.
I think crispy pizza is overrated. I don't want a crispy.
I like
when the dough is like, if you pick up a round slice, the front of it should go like that. That's what it should do.
Like your penis?
If that helps you.
I like both, and that's what's good about you get a good Sicilian, because that bottom is nice and crusty, and then it's soft all the way up to the top.
That's fine. I can take that. See, the difference with deep dish here or Sicilian here and Chicago style for me was Chicago had it's almost like a pot pie. Like, it's a thin crust with a tall, like, crust that goes around the rim, and then it's just piled in the middle it's almost like a soup. It's just too much sauce, too much of the ingredients inside, not enough dough for Chicago style. Now, who was it? Paul was asking about Detroit style. What is that?
So Detroit style is more of like it's similar to deep dish, where they make it in a small, like, pan. Like, it's made in like a tiny little
personal pan pizza.
It's kind of squared off more. So like Little Caesars is considered, they're out of Detroit.
So that's Detroit.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
small pizza.
It's kind of like a Sicilian. It's kind of like in between a Sicilian and a deep dish. And the cheese that they put on, I think, is different. I think they put on provolone and mozzarella.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I'll try it. I'll try anything that if you call it pizza and you put it in front of me, I'll try it.
Yeah, that's the thing. At the end of the day, you're just gonna fucking it's pizza. You're gonna eat it.
Pizza.
That's why so many mediocre pizza places can survive on Long Island, because it's like it's still good even if it's not great.
Yeah, I get that. You're gonna hate me, but every now I haven't had it in a long time. But I had Domino's a couple times, and I'm like, okay, is it pizzeria style, the best, the New York, blah blah? No, but it's okay. It's edible and it's good. It's not, it's not the best pizza in the world, but it's edible.
I'm gonna surprise you here. I'm with you.
Thank you. Okay, that was a surprise.
I don't consider it pizza.
Well, it's pizza.
Like when I say you want to get pizza in my house, and I think in our life, we never confuse that with Domino's. That's not on the board.
Those are two separate.
Yes.
Stop. You want to get pizza, or do you want to get Domino's?
Do you want to get Domino's? Yeah. Because there are, like you said, there are some times where you're like, I just need a shitty Domino's pizza.
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah.
I'm in with that. See, if Domino's, I don't know their hours, but Domino's, if they want to expand or take over the pizza market or whatever, every pizza place for some reason closes at like 10 for some stupid reason, even on the weekends, which is dumb. Everybody wants pizza at 12 o'clock at night for some reason on a weekend. You'd be doing so much. If Domino's does what McDonald's is doing and stays open 24 hours, then they'd do a lot more. They'd be ahead of the game, I think.
Well, that's how Taco Bell literally rose to prominence. They were like, guess what? We're staying open till 2:00 in the morning across the board. Doesn't matter. They were like, that's why they had that whole fourth meal bullshit. And I'm like, fourth meal, we're here.
Yeah.
We're
I'll
open.
tell you how many times we're at poker, we're doing poker by my house, and it's like, it's 11, 12 o'clock, and we're all hungry, and we're like, what? I wish we could order pizza, but everything's closed. If a Domino's was open, I'd be like, let's just grab a Domino's.
Yep. 100%.
I feel like, is it the best pizza in the world? No, but it'll do.
It's weird because it is pizza, but I consider it a different food category than New York pizza. Which, aren't you amazed that Domino's could even thrive in the New York area alone? Like, there's a Domino's, the closest Domino's to me, there must be 14 pizza places in between me and that Domino's. And I'm like, who's ordering Domino's this much that this still exists?
Well, I don't know what the prices are, but if you go to a regular pizza place and you get a regular pie, it's like $30.
That's true. And I'll say this about Domino's too. It was kind of genius to throw in the other shitty food that they have. They're like, well, you can get boneless wings with us too.
Yep.
And now like tater tots apparently. And you're kind of like, maybe I want pizza and fucking tater tots.
Yeah. Bird says Domino's lava cake is actually really good.
Yes.
See that?
Yes, it is, Bird. Good point.
Sybil says Domino's lava cake is like crack cocaine. Yeah.
I think there's real crack cocaine in there, to be honest with you.
So, sometimes Domino's hits the spot, man. It's like White Castle. Yeah, I can get a burger at a restaurant and whatever, but it's a rare occasion where White Castle is the only thing that's going to do.
Oddly enough, you just reminded me, I went to Chicago a couple of months ago now. I did go to one of those deep dish places, but it was like the pot pie deep dish place. Right. And I put a picture in the members area, and I have like a whole video of it, and I never put it out. Maybe I'll put it out.
Put it out. We talked about it for the last half hour now.
Yeah, it was pretty good too. It was pretty tasty. We all went out.
It's good. It's good pizza. We went to like one of the big, pizza places in Chicago. It's like known for their deep dish, and it was good. We ordered a couple different pies, whatever, for the table, but it was just too much sauce. It just felt like it didn't feel like pizza. It just felt like someone just put a tomato soup on top of cheesy bread. And I was like, all right.
I wonder if you went to the same place I went to. Did it take cash only?
That sounds familiar.
Oh no, I wonder if we went to the same place.
Do you remember what it looked like? Was it
was it in a bowl and they flipped the bowl around and they scooped it out of the bowl? That's how it was at this place. They built there was sauce and cheese and everything in there. Then they just draped the dough on top of it and they bake it that way. And then when they get to the table, they flip it around and they take a spoon and scoop it out. And it just sits there.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was pretty fucking good.
But I feel like they did that in the kitchen and brought it out because that's what it looked like. It was just
no, they do it in front of you. So I don't think we went to the same, but maybe they were doing the same style. Quick question. If you couldn't live in New York anymore, if you got kicked out of New York, Philly or Chicago, those are your two choices. Where would you live?
You talking just based on food or based on anything?
Life itself, my man.
Based on life. Philadelphia.
You still could do the podcast. You're doing the podcast. Your same career, everything is the same. Just you got to live there. So you're basically picking based off of food and lifestyle.
Well, life. That's tough because Philadelphia. I like the town. It's a nice town. They got a lot of history there. Chicago. I don't think I've seen enough of Chicago to make that call. I'd probably say Philly.
Me too. I feel like I saw only the best parts of Chicago, which makes me think it's like glorious. So I'm like, it's so great here.
Yeah, when we were there, it was a big fancy hotel right on the river, the Chicago River.
Me too.
And everything was all lit up, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. But Philly, yeah, probably Philly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll tell you the thing.
Up the stairs every day for a workout.
Good point from Paige. Philly, you're 2 hours from DC, AC, and New York. You can't really. It's a great little fucking location.
That's the truth.
Yeah, like Glenn B. All three are disgusting. Rural life rules.
Good Lord.
Glenn, did we do okay under the Biden topic when we talked about the Burisma thing? We're keeping an eye on it. I feel like the real story is going to come when they actually play the recordings and we actually find proof of Biden taking the money. I'm not saying
I feel like they would have shown the recordings would have come out already.
It takes a while though. I think this Grassley is trying to force those recordings out.
If he could release this FBI document, then he could release the recordings.
I don't think he has them yet. I don't think he has them. Oh, if he had them, he would put them out. There's no way.
If he didn't have them, he shouldn't. He should have said, "Oh, there are recordings." How could you say there are recordings if you don't have them?
Well, the witness said there's recordings.
Oh, the witness said.
Who they say is credible? I don't know.
Well, you're gonna announce on national television this is a fact when you have no, you're going on someone's word, one person's word. It's risky.
I don't know.
That's really good. All right, who's gonna wrap it?
I was gonna leave it just for the viewers and let the people who listen be like, what did she say? That was so funny.
You gotta read it. Erin posted something pretty funny. That's really good. It works.
It's good. What was I gonna say? Lana Del Rey showed up at a Waffle House and was a server. Let's skip that.
Was it was it a publicity stunt or something for
I think so.
Music video? Okay, she's not working there.
It was one of those weird publicity stunts though, where it's like there wasn't media there. It was just I'm gonna do this and let people on social media just start posting about it.
Okay.
Let it blow up. Because there's no way she legit. I will tell you this though, she looked hot as fuck in that Waffle House uniform. I mean, that was working for your old pal Ann. I'm like, holy shit, this is the best she's ever looked in a fucking Waffle House uniform. Who saw that coming?
Is that added to the Amazon list? You're gonna get that delivered?
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna tell my wife, be like, you know what we were talking about, that sexy lingerie? And she's be like, yeah. And I'd be like, I go ordered your Waffle House uniform.
Yeah, it's coming. It's in the mail.
It's gonna be great. Last thing, so sad. Tony Bennett. The love of
R.I.P. to a legend.
Okay, let me tell you what really upset me today. Everybody who I told Tony Bennett died, my family, you guys, right? And I put it in the group chat this morning. I got the same response and it drove me crazy. Of 96, he had a good run. I'm like, fuck you. Like, no age was a good age to lose Tony Bennett.
You know what, though? He had a good run at 96.
Shut the fuck up.
It is up there. 96 is up there. And he had Alzheimer's for a while.
Yeah, he was totally gone by the end. He barely got through the last Lady Gaga or his birthday concert. He barely got through it.
What was amazing to me is they said when he towards the end, he had Alzheimer's. It was pretty bad. But as soon as he got the mic in his hands, he just, clicked in. Yep. And he was 100% Tony Bennett on stage with the mic, and he didn't miss a beat. And that's where he was born to be.
Isn't that amazing? Like the Alzheimer's didn't affect him remembering melodies or song lyrics.
It just, that's where he was most comfortable. And it just brought Tony Bennett out when he put a mic in his hands.
You know what's weird? I saw a TikTok the other day. This woman sits down, it's an old man. It's her father. He's got Alzheimer's. We discover later on. He loved to paint. She just gave him.
Who's this?
It was on TikTok.
Oh, okay.
She gives him a paintbrush. He would not recognize her at all. He gives her a paintbrush. He starts just painting. He just starts moving the brush on the thing. And he looks up and he says her name and he goes, "Oh, you look beautiful." It was her wedding day. She's in her wedding dress. She goes, "Oh, you look beautiful." "Oh, you're getting married today?" And he was just talking. She was in tears. I'm fucking in tears. Wow. I'm taking a shit on the toilet, but I'm crying, taking a poop, watching this video.
You know how many times I've been crying, taking a poop? It's nothing to do with TikTok either.
It was such a wonderful moment. And I'm like, look at this. So that reminded me of Tony Bennett. It's true. These Alzheimer's people, there's some stuff that just doesn't leave them, whatever that is.
I saw another video like that. This one was a pretty popular one. It's an older woman who is sitting in a wheelchair, very skinny, and they put headphones on her. And she was a ballerina, and when she was young, but she was like prima ballerina, like the best there was. And as soon as the music came on, she was doing the moves like she was sitting down in the chair, but her hands. And she was doing all the moves, and she was going along with it, eyes closed, and she was just dancing in the chair. She had it looked like she was in her 90s, and it was such a moving thing. It instantly brought her right back. They played the song that she used to dance to, and it just brought her right back. It was so incredible.
God damn, how fucking sweet is that?
It really is.
Seriously.
There's so many. You know what? I'm going to look up some more of those videos. They're so good to see stuff like that. When people just snap into like.
I know. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just great. All right, Tony Bennett. Do you know he won 20 Grammy Awards in his lifetime?
That is a lot. So I only have 20 to tell you. Okay, we'll see.
It's just unbelievable. 20 awards. Of course, he hit in the early 50s. And like I said, did his 95th birthday concert just a few months ago. So, I mean, that is a dominating 70-plus year career.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Reinvented his career several times, too. Of course, one of the most notable things ever was him doing MTV Unplugged, which his son, God love him, was like his manager. He's like, you got to do this. And it reinvented him and gave him a whole new audience and a whole new life.
I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, did it like pump a little air into that genre, too? That crooning, brought it back a little bit.
Well, credit Tony, credit his son, but credit MTV too, who at the time was doing Nirvana and Metallica and Green Day and Madonna and Michael Jackson, and now all of a sudden Tony Bennett is in the mix and doing it unplugged. It was phenomenal and everybody loved it. Frank Sinatra, they asked Frank Sinatra who your favorite singer was, and he said Tony Bennett, and would answer that quite frequently.
It was really cool. It's so stupid, but I have to mention it because it's Tony Bennett. The Saturday Night Live, Alec Baldwin, his impression of him.
It's great.
You got to hand it to him. It was it was spot on. It was so good.
It was really, really good. Love that. I loved him in The Scout, the Albert Brooks movie.
I didn't see it.
Tony Bennett is in there, and Brendan Fraser goes. He's a baseball player, and he starts singing "I Left My Heart in San Francisco" in front of Tony Bennett. So he sings his closer, and Albert Brooks is like, "No, that's his closer," and he starts singing, and the whole crowd starts singing, and Tony Bennett gets mad, and he fucking walks off the stage.
That's awesome.
He's great in that. He was great in Analyze This.
That's right. Yeah,
he was in that, and he was really good in that.
He was a voice on The Simpsons in a very early episode.
He was on The Simpsons. He did a guest spot on Entourage as well. Absolute legend. It's weird. I mean, nobody will ever replace Frank Sinatra. I think that's the apex of the mountain. But he came pretty close because he could fucking sing. He was a great entertainer, and he had a bit more longevity than Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, I mean, he was still singing up until a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I did not love the Lady Gaga stuff. A lot of people don't know this, but all that stuff that he did with Lady Gaga, he was supposed to do with Amy Winehouse. That was the plan, because he cut a song with Amy Winehouse, and they were planning to do an album and a tour and all that. And then she died, and it was kind of like, all right, well, we still have all this stuff planned, and they just slid Lady Gaga in there.
I feel like Lady Gaga, they did a good job together.
They did okay, but she's a little much for me sometimes.
A little over the top.
A little bit, she's a great entertainer and performer. I give her all the credit in the world, but I also kind of feel like you're on the stage with Tony, and she loved Tony Bennett, but I feel like you're on the stage with him. Dial it down a little bit. Let him be the guy. Don't just say you love him.
Sing her the way she sings.
Yeah, I guess so. And also,
Sybil remembers that. I'm sorry, the ballerina video.
Oh, the ballerina dancer.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm also sour because I'm a huge Amy Winehouse fan, and I don't think.
Of course.
I'm treating Lady Gaga like the fucking second bass player in Metallica. What was his name?
Jason Newsted.
Jason, yeah, he just never got the time of day.
Fucking guy.
Poor bastard. All right, Frankie, that's it. You got anything else?
All I gotta say is he had a good run, Tony. 96. That's good, man.
God bless him. And at least we still got the music, right? Like, we've got all this great shit.
Got a lifetime of music. 70 years of music. That's insane.
There's a couple of albums, Steppin' Out primarily. Steppin' Out is such a fucking great record because you could hear in the recording like the actual piano key, like them hitting the piano keys and then plucking the bass strings and stuff like that is so well done. I could vividly remember laying in my house, my parents' house in Queens, like laying on the couch while that album was playing and hearing every little detail of that record, like getting ready for some party or Christmas or whatever, New Year's or whatever it was. But I just remember sitting there listening to that going, God, this is and I'm like a kid. I'm like, this is really good shit. Like he knew how to make a record, you know, he knew how to make an album. It was so fucking good.
The legend, baby.
Absolute legend. Shit, I was gonna say something else now, and I got so involved with the stupid sound on the album that he was also an artist. He painted a lot. I actually have it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have it. I forgot to bring it, but downstairs, maybe I'll take a picture. I'll put it in the members area. He was a winemaker too, or champagne or something. But we have a bottle of wine or champagne in the house that it was his painting, and they took his painting and put it on the bottle and they sold it. It's like a limited edition thing.
Wow.
That I've always treasured it. And I've never
that's never going to be opened probably.
It's never going to be. I mean, I don't even know if it's probably vinegar at this point. I don't even know if it's good, but we got it. So I'll snap a picture of that.
Cool.
That's it. Anything else?
Penny. I'm good on my end.
All right.
Remember to pick up that Oval book.
I was just going to say
description.
Oval's still available, right? We still got the link in the description for anybody who hasn't got it yet.
It's on Amazon. Great summer read. Pick it up while you can. The hard copy or the Kindle version, both available.
I don't want to spoil anything in the book, but the part where Tony Bennett comes out and sings to the main characters is just breathtaking.
The vocals in that book are amazing.
Yeah. A lot of great cameos.
Really hear the detail in that book.
Hear the strings plucking. All right, that's it for us. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll be back with you on Monday.
Show me potato salad. Maybe we should go now.